Well, howdy there. This is Buckner from In the Bunker with Buckner, and I'm completely freaked out. And I think you know why I'm freaked out. It's because of the silent majority, the fringe middle, I call them, and their silence. Why are they being silent? Because of their conspiracies. There's so many conspiracies, and I'm just freaked out about that. That led me to retreat into my bunker here, where I find solace from the middle. I'm much more comfortable in the extremes, and the one thing I find a little unsettling is the silence here at the bunker. It's very quiet, and sometimes I hear sounds, and I'll go out there and I'll look around, and I'm suspecting it's a bunny. It's a bunny. Bunnies are very quiet, and they'll munch on grass, but then maybe they make a sound, and it really freaks me out. So it's kind of like the silent majority. The fringe middle, they completely freak me out. When you think about it, is silence and quiet the same thing? You know, it's very quiet here where I am. In my bunker, I am surrounded by nature. There are birds in the trees, and the leaves sometimes rustle. But I think you would say it's quiet, which is very similar to silence. You know, what is the difference? Whereas when you go into, let's say you're surrounded by the silent middle, the silent majority, you're just kind of there with them and they're being silent, you wouldn't say that that's a peaceful quiet. It's kind of an unnerving silence. You see what I'm saying? It's a big difference. You don't say, well, that's an unnerving quiet. No, not at all. And I think that's very obvious. And there's a big difference between silence and quiet. I mean, if you go and measure the two, let's say I had a sound meter, and I might just go buy one. And I could probably make one, to be honest, if I had the time. But my podcast here, talking to you, does consume a significant amount of my time. For that reason, I would probably buy one. If I measured, try to measure between silence and quiet, I'm wondering if the machine could tell the difference between the two. That would be fascinating. That would be a new area of research. But going back to quiet, you don't really say, ooh, that's a unnerving quiet. No, not at all. You would never say that. You might say, that's a soothing quiet. And it is. It is very much so here in my bunker. And that's why I escaped the silence of the fringe middle for the soothing quiet of my bunker. Now, the bunnies notwithstanding, sometimes I hear a sound and I'm almost hesitant to go to the door of my bunker, but then I will. Buckner is, I'm not afraid of many things, really, and I'll peek out, and if I see a bunny, then I know, it was probably the bunny that made the sound, or maybe it was Bigfoot. You never know. I mean, who else would be walking out in the wilderness surrounding my bunker? Nobody really knows where my bunker is, and that's important. I'm broadcasting to you, but my bunker is well hidden, and many have tried to find it, but it's really in a very, I wouldn't say desolate, it's in a kind of a craggy nook that many people, there's no trails to it. And that's the one thing, once I walked here, if I do go out, I cover the trail up with leaves. So it's really not possible to find where my bunker is, and I prefer that because I do prefer the quiet, the peaceful quiet over the eerie silence of the silent majority. Well, I think we've covered a great deal, and thank you so much for tuning in. This is Buckner from In the Bunker, and we're just going to go for a campfire break, and we'll be right back.